Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mundane Matt, and you know what I love? I love faux outrage over shit that is entirely optional, because it truly shows you the mentality of the people involved, and really they live in such a privileged world that if this is something that prompts them to lose their collective shit, they probably don't have a lot of problems in their day-to-day life, and they're just trying to feel something, if not anything, to make up for the emptiness. But over on Mediaite, it says here that 160 children's book authors sent letters to publishing company protesting Milo Yiannopoulos' book. Now, if you remember from a couple weeks ago, it came out that Simon and Schuster gave Milo Yiannopoulos a $250,000 book deal for his upcoming book Dangerous that's going to be released in March, so just over 2 months. And then goes on to say, considering the controversial nature of Yiannopoulos, who was banned from Twitter last year for directing online harassment to comedian Leslie Jones, it didn't take long for there to be outrage over the announcement of the deal. In fact, Jones herself told the publisher they were helping spread hate for publishing his book. Meanwhile, Simon and Schuster have defended their decision. Of course they have. Of course they have. You know why they have? Because they know that when people get outraged over something like this, that is entirely optional. All it does is fuel free advertisement. It fuels profitability and popularity, right? Especially that middle one, profitability. But what's so funny too is the whole issue with Milo being banned from Twitter. Again, that issue was so blown out of fucking proportion. I've covered it multiple times. And Leslie Jones just loves to play the victim about it and loves to be out there going like, I was a victim of people harassing me on the internet. Never mind the fact that she was popularizing it herself by promoting it on her page, by retweeting it, and calling for people to go over there and harass other Twitter users, which is a clear violation of Twitter's terms of service. But you know how it is, right? It's never equality. It's always hypocrisy. That's how Twitter operates these days. But anyway, says here that, well, now it appears that a large group of authors of children's books have sent a letter to the publisher protesting the publication of a book by hate-monger Milo Yiannopoulos. In the letter, they noted Milo's connection to the alt-right. That's going to haunt him for fucking ever. All right, that's going to haunt him and all the people out there that were like, I'm alt-right, before Richard Spencer came along and did the whole, hail Trump, hail our people. That was just hysterical. To watch those fuckers scurry away from that tag, oh, that was beautiful. I loved that. Because they're still now trying to fight it off. And that's just, it's somewhat like ironic to me, but at the same time, it's also like a lot of the people were just like not happy with the way that the conservative side of things was being traditionally run. And so they kind of formed the alt-right as a way to kind of push back against the normies, I guess. And as a result of that, it was co-opted by people very much who hate minorities and women. So that was hard to that was funny. Because again, I mean, I've been on the side of that where it's like you get labeled something that you're not. And here's the thing too. Not everyone involved in the alt-right is in any way, shape, or form a bad person. All right. But it's like the whole Pepe the Frog thing. It was co-opted by dumb idiot people, and then the media glommed on that to turn it into a symbol. And that's what it is. So I just want to make that absolutely clear. Not everyone involved in the alt-right is a bad person. It's just one of those things where the bad people pretty much defined what it was, what a lot of the perception of it was. And as a person who's been involved in Gamergate and seen that shit firsthand, I'm sympathetic. I just find it to be ironic in that regard. There's a level of irony there and a level of humor that I'm pulling from it that like the average person who's not involved in it or involved in Gamergate may not fully understand. So there's my explanation. But anyway, here's what the letter had to say. Threshold has placed Simon & Schuster's considerable reputation and weight behind one of the most prominent faces of the newly repackaged white supremacist, white nationalist movement, and financially supported a man who routinely denigrates verbal attacks and directs dangerous internet doxing and hate campaigns against women, minorities, LGBTQ individuals, Muslims, and anyone he chooses to target who supports equality and human decency. Irrespective of the content of this book, by extending a mainstream publication contract, Threshold has chosen to legitimize this reprehensible belief system, these behaviors, and white supremacy itself. Mother of God. Jesus Christ, get the fuck over yourself. 160 children's authors. Sign that fucking thing. 160. Are you afraid that Milo's book might reach some of those children that you're trying to write to? The ones that are still in college and reading reading those books that were intended for Y7? I mean, come the fuck on. First and foremost, Milo is not part of a white supremacist / white nationalist movement. He routinely takes black cock. That's one of his things. And you're going to tell me that he takes black cock. Okay, think about that one. He takes it. Not like he's not pitching, he's catching. All right. And if you think that a KKK member or white supremacist or white nationalist is going to be catching black dick, no, you're mistaken. If anything, they would be pitching to black ass. But no, he's going after, he likes black dudes. That's just how it is. And that's and that's his thing. That's what he prefers. So you still want to call him a racist. Gotcha. Oh man, I love the line here. He chooses to target who supports equality and human decency. That is such a load of bullshit, right? That is such a load of goddamn bullshit. This is what I love about the regressive left. All right. Like what they do is they so turn that you're either with us or you're against us mentality. That's everything that they do. And if you step out of line from that, then they'll attack you. They'll attack you. Check out this tweet from Graham Linehan, the guy who created the IT Crowd on BBC, which is one of my all-time favorite shows. It's a funny as fuck show. It says here, Nicole Kidman, it's time to accept and support Trump, which he's been saying, and that's a fair thing. I don't like Trump. I don't want him to be president, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, which is basically what she's saying, and I agree with that. So his response back is breaking. Botox impairs cognitive functions. This guy is a beloved male feminist. And very much an anti-gamergator, and he's all for women and everything else until a woman disagrees with him. And then when she disagrees with him, he says that Botox impairs cognitive function. I don't want to, seriously, the guy's a fucking douchebag. But anyway, that's the kind of shit that these people are defending, which is just, it's hysterical to me that they're really trying so hard to do that. And it goes on here to say, the authors also contended that they weren't advocating and suppressing free speech due to Yiannopoulos' already large platform, and to insinuate that their protests would be seen as gaslighting. They further added that as published Simon & Schuster authors and illustrators, they reject the wisdom of the decision, as he and his book are, quote, not America. Not America. That's fucking hysterical. Well, he's not American, right? He's from England, and I'm wondering how many of them actually fucking know that. Again, these people don't ever do research. They don't, I honestly want to try to like find a middle ground with them to like have an honest discussion. But when they do shit like this, you can't. All they're doing is further like making this book more popular. Don't believe me? Check this out. Okay. Over there on that there damn Amazon, right? Milo Yiannopoulos is Dangerous is currently the #1 new releases in censorship and politics, right? #1. This thing went to #1 in its first like couple days, and it's dropped in price too. It was $26 hardcover, now it's down to $16.57, which reminds me I need to place an order for my fucking copy. And it's like people already want to read this. They want to read this because of the controversy surrounding it. Like that's one of the things that happened last year in Germany, right? Mein Kampf was restricted from being published for 70 damn years. And then finally the copyright expired and people started publishing it, and it's been on the bestseller list all goddamn year in Germany. People, even now, at the beginning of this year, I saw a report that's like, Mein Kampf is a #1 seller. Yeah, it's been like that for a whole goddamn year because you spent all this time restricting it and trying to make it something that's so taboo that no one would ever want to get their hands on it. And when it becomes available, people are going to look at it because they want to know. All right, they want to know what's so forbidden about it. They want to know why it's considered taboo, why it's considered dangerous. And they're going to read it. And then Milo's words and his thoughts and his opinions are going to go out to a multitude of new people that otherwise wouldn't fucking see it. And this is exactly what happens every single fucking time this kind of faux outrage and these boycotts attempt to happen. It just cracks me up that it never changes, right? Ron Perlman from the opening of fucking Fallout, war never changes. Yeah, it never changes. Never fucking changes. They cannot stop themselves. Period. From acting in this way. Now, look, you can like Milo or not like Milo. That's entirely up to you. Buying this book, reading this book, sharing this book, talking about this book is entirely optional. But you writing a letter to Simon and Schuster saying that he not America. Yeah, they're going to go, yeah, he's not America. And they know that by doing this sort of thing, what you're doing is acting like children. I mean, clearly, it's who your target demographic is as a writer. So that's where your mentality is currently at. This is just, it's sad. It's sad. If people weren't freaking out about this book, it would get attention in Milo's audience, but it wouldn't go far past that. But now it's the #1 release in censorship and politics, and coming out right after Trump's inauguration, and right when we're seeing a whole new regime change in the United States, and given everything else that's happened in terms of politics and social justice and everything else online, you've just made Milo a lot more popular. And I guess I should say thank you, because the more tears you shed, the more salt you mine, the more we get a point and laugh, because we know that if you just want to stop it, just don't look. But you can't help yourself, can you? Alright everyone, that wraps up this video. My name is Mundane Matt. Be sure to give it a thumbs up, comment below, subscribe if you're new, check back daily for more content from me, or if you want to know about my life, check out Mundane Chats, or top 5 videos that are awesome as fuck, forbidden knowledge right here. Talk to you guys later, have yourself a good day, and peace out.